Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. I am on episode 31. I have now finished with the artisan market last Saturday, in which I made 70 cards to sell, all Christmas and Thanksgiving cards. So I am out here because I want to share something with you. This is my street. Off here to this direction are the RV sites with suites, and then we are the second house in. This is a cul-de-sac. I think there's 50 homes here, all very much alike. So this is our space, and there's our trailer that we traveled in for years. It is 32 feet long. We now have, the neighbor gave us a golf cart, and Hub has converted it to a work truck because he is a volunteer trail maintenance person. We live on a nature trail. We live in an RV community that is also a nature preserve and a golf course. We don't golf, but we participate in all of the nature activities. So you can see a little bit of the trail there, and the fence on the other side of that fence is the St. John's watershed, which is conservation land, so there will never ever be houses built behind our house. So the first thing I want to share with you is here is my Lightfast testing. Anybody coming up to my door will see color swatches, and then of course our door really sadly needs to be painted. It came this way and we have not gotten to it yet. So the problem is, in the summertime, the sun comes up right where that palm tree is, and it comes over, so we get good morning sun, full bright sun. But now in the fall, as the summer continued, the sun started rising farther and farther to the right, and now this door gets zero sunlight. So I'm going to be taking the Lightfast stuff down, and it might come down for the winter. I'm not sure. I'm going to consider whether I leave it here, or we have a back door that might get late afternoon sun. So the other reason why I can share this with you is that when we came back from our vacation, I decided to go on a cleaning spree, and my house is probably the cleanest it will ever be. Once or twice a year, I get the idea that the house needs to be clean and everything put away and be organized. So from here, I sit at this first recliner, and this right here is the swatching of the Evazar, which is what you guys chose in my poll between Evazar and the Maries. However, because I was planning, or I was working so hard to be prepared to sell things at the artisan market last Saturday, I came home from vacation and I hardly spent any time at all on anything coloring. So I am now on the other side of that. We're going to now, this is Hub's space where he has decided he would like to dwell. We have this dining room table that actually needs to be refinished. I got a great deal on it. I think I paid $40 for it. And it goes to 84 inches. And when it's fully expanded, it sits perfectly right here in this empty space, and there's lots of room for people to walk around. Hub's desk can actually shove into the corner, so if I'm having like any kind of an event, I actually have three large tables altogether. His table can go in the corner, and either people can sit here. When I had my little mini crafting retreat in February, one person actually sat up here. My space is below him. I get this whole room down here, which is a fully enclosed Florida room, is my craft space. And the second reason why I wanted to give you guys the walk around is because I have been working on my 520 decor. So here are some of the areas I have finished. This spot where when I was doing my test, I just did the center. And now all three are done. I have two more to put on, one on either side of this is my happy place. However, my desk, at the time I was doing this, my desk was not all clean. And I realized I need to move my desk, and it's heavy. We have the electronics hang on the metal pole, and so it makes the desk very heavy and kind of top heavy. So it's not something I want to move myself. So I knew I wanted to get it fully cleaned, because if Hub comes down here, he's kind of like a bull in a china shop. Anything you leave out things could happen to it that are not what we want to have happen to it. So now that it is clean, I will be able to get my desk moved so that I can put my 2 shelves I want up here. And then Hub had the idea. He's actually got really good creative ideas. My fish I put up as soon as we moved here. It's like one of the very first things that I got was these packages of fish that just stick to the wall. And a couple of them had fallen off. In fact, the 2 center between the windows pencils had fish. And he's like, you should just put your pencils there. So I have, and I have put up 3 pieces, and I want to do one more. I think it's a dark blue to purple. So you can see the colors start in the teal, going from green to teal, teal to blue, the dark blue at the top, and then it'll go blue to purple on the far end there above the window. And then this is going to have greens. Green is my favorite color. Interestingly enough, if you noticed, my chair is blue. I'm going to back up here. You can see that the tropical square rug is pink, blue, and green. And then I have this pink chair with this wonderful Walmart pillow that goes perfectly. So because green is my favorite color, I actually didn't do everything green. I kind of went with just whatever the carpet wanted me to do. And I found, in fact, this particular chair is not pink. That's a pink slip cover. So I do have slip covers and I can change out some colors. This chair was a black chair that had a blue cover. In fact, that chair is now over at my drafting table. And I was very happy to find this chair. And you'll notice it only has one arm because I rotate. If I sit in my space, I sit like this. Here's my computer stations. Yes, I have 2 laptops, and I use them both. These funky keyboards you see here are because I am an online gamer, and I do play 2 accounts in one game. Actually, I have 2 accounts in a couple of games. And the secondary, this computer is an older computer than one on the left, so I use it to like move things around. I don't generally play on, like, do battles and things because that computer's old and slow. Anyhow, back to the chair. So rather than have the arm of the chair on the right hit the L, I just decided to take it off. And instead, if I want my arm up, I have this giant mouse pad that I actually use for stamping. I make cards, so I do stamping of rubber stamps or photopolymer stamps, and that is a permanent cushion so that I never have to go dig up a cushion to stamp. I just stamp right there. And you've probably seen that this is where I video. I have not removed this protective grid paper, but usually I film directly on the wood surface. I actually really like that wood surface. And for now, I had this protected because I had like 6 different stations of things going on here when I was crafting all my cards last week. I do have all of my inks, alcohol markers, and die markers all together with the re-inkers all at the top. I do have my the brand of card making I do. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and these are the full set of their watercolor pencils and the swatches and everything right here. I've had very good luck with them. I actually like to use them dry. And then I have some different, these are all my leftover bits. I have ribbon, all different bows and just little bits and pieces left over in case I want to make something up with them. And then all of my extra little pieces of paper go in the one below. So I always keep these 2 little, oh, there's one of the cards. Keep those 2 baskets. I'll clean them out and put everything away periodically. I have all of my decorative paper. This here is all of my retired paper that I have collected over the years, and I decided that I needed everything sitting out. I did the same thing with my pencils, so that same idea with this craft room. having all of my nice professional pencils out in the open so that I can just grab them and color with them without having to dig them out of a case is the same philosophy that I use for my card making. That is why I made this external tower, so that everything is just a little roll of the chair and reach and grab whatever I need. Same with the papers. And then I do have all sorts of storage inside these closed cabinets. Those are all of the cards that I brought with me, all 6 of the cases. They're all sorted into different categories. And when I go to sell, it's really easy because those 6 boxes just take the lids off, put the lids up underneath them, and boom, I'm ready to go. I've got some pencil supplies. I've got my embossing powders. This is a temporary bow maker. I have all of the pieces, the wood pieces, to make a nice one, and Hub has not made it for me yet. So this is from the Dollar Tree. It's a piece of florist foam and some sticks that had decorative, I think it was Christmas trees, flannel Christmas trees on them, and they were, so this is like a total of $3.50 worth of supplies, or $3.75. I've got I see some crayons in there. I even have chalk pencils. I have all of my Copic markers. That was what I worked on for the first part of my vacation. The first video that I did on my vacation was the purchase of another set of pencils, and that actually is enough space to hold all of them. And I just have been collecting them slowly over the years after having lost my full set. I've got my 2 cuddle bugs, and they are for embossing and die cutting, and then all of my embossing folders. The other case actually has more. This is my tank printer that I use for printing, and I print all of my coloring pages with it on the Nina Bristol Vellum 67 pound. This is the grand total of every single coloring book that I own. I have a bunch of, and I did a walkthrough of the latest ones I bought, and I do have electronic ones that I got from Amazon. Summer Jade, a bunch of hers. I liked those really well, and Nathaniel Wake. I have some digital ones of his, and I love to print them out. So these are boxes that I store things for family and friends, to ferry things to them. Since I live far away, everything has to be shipped. I have a bit of a fetish with not throwing away bags, so that's my full supply of paper bags, all different shapes and sizes. Paper and embellishments get stored in them, moved around, and behind that I have some retired stamp sets that are keep forever stamp sets, as I call them. I even have some Castle Arts paper here, and I have a bunch of art pads that you'll see that I've marked. This is watercolor, 140 pound watercolor, pastel pads, Fabriano Artistico Duralar. I have 2 blacks, Fabriano black and Stonehenge black. I have pastel matte. So the Me Tiantes, that's Kate Canson. And then pastel matte pad. And I do have pastel matte board as well, and a couple of colors that for testing purposes. And then let's see, what have we got? We've got a whole bunch of more crafting supplies, some Copic refills, thick thing of Sookwang, if you know what that is, a big roll of foam, washi tape, ribbon. I have a Misty here in this cardboard case. This is a 12-month calendar card holder for me to stay very organized. Condo docs. I am our condo secretary. In this particular community, there are 20 condos, and we are condo 16. The bottom here has just a bunch of paper, a scoreboard, a big, actually that art bin gray case I think I've shared with you guys. It's a clipboard, and that's where my pastel mat board is hiding. And then I have some business accordion folder. We're going to come back to this Brutfuner box in a minute. Here is my decorated second table, and so I can have like 6 people at the dinner table, 1 or 2 people at Hub's desk. I can have somebody sitting at my desk. It's a little bit too tight to have more than 4 people here with me on the end helping. So this particular space, this table is, if there's people here sitting, this table just, I can store stuff, supplies and what have you. So this leads to my next thing to share, which is actually what this video is supposed to be for, which is my part 3, what did I color while on vacation? So these are some projects that I colored, and the first one that I colored, because it was before Halloween, was this Halloween picture. It was a free download from Ruby Charm Colors. She puts downloadables on her Facebook group, and I own one of her coloring books, which is how I even found out about her, and I went over to her website and became part of her Facebook group, and I have gotten really nice images from her. And then we also have a Ken Matsudo print of either a baby crocodile or alligator, and I colored that. I kept it nice light colors, and this one is done with praying. In fact, the Halloween one is praying. Most of these are going to be praying. I'm trying to get more colorings done in the prangs, which are my introductory pencil sets that I am providing to people coming to my coloring group. I also then created, this is from Sarah Renee Clark. She has a free 2024 calendar. If you haven't gotten it already, you can hop over and get this free calendar. I did a print, both of these are done with draft, so they are actually grayscale. You might not tell that it is. I printed them out in the grayscale so that I could put it on plain copy paper, and then my Nina Bristol Vellum 67 pound. So I wanted to show people the difference in the quality of the colored pencil laydown, and I hope you can see the difference in the colors like I can. It's really obvious that, of course, that's the cheap paper and that's the good paper. And then I also found R.J. Hampson. I have one of his books, and I went over to his website and signed up to his email blasts. So I got a packet of freebies, and this was one of them. So this is also done with the prangs. I did not color the cat. The reason why both of these are in a frame is that when I was at the artisan market, I also had like a second table that was advertising the coloring group. So I wanted to show them what kind of coloring projects they would be able to do. And then I think the last project I worked on that is still not done. This is a project that I started with my mom and her husband when they were here in March. And I've already shared the project that they colored because they finished theirs. And while I was gone, I grabbed my container of Brutfuners that I had been using for this, and I did the 2 turtles, and I am stuck on the turtles' arms, and I haven't decided what to do with the tail. This is not anatomically correct. The sea turtles have kind of 2 flippers and a tail, and I made a decision on this turtle to go with the leaves in the greens, and then followed it through on his tail. But this one I have not decided what to do with yet, and I haven't decided what to do with their front arms. And then there's the sea urchins, which sea urchins usually have spines sticking out. These are like, for me, I would find these dead in Washington State at the beach in Puget Sound, so I have not really figured out a color scheme or set of schemes to do with those yet. So I'm going to research that and try to get that finished up. And the Brutfuner pencils that I brought with me, I took out of the case, and they're now in this Lazy Susan that has, this half has my animal coloring pencils, mostly polychromos, a museum aquarelle white, and some luminance, and then there's even a Pablo or two. The Pablo white is here. So this Lazy Susan is doing two things. And then I have even more polys that I need to put away. Oh, and a Derwent drawing. This was over on my desk. I think I did a video with those at some point. And that, we're almost to being finished. We have one last thing to share. Oh, and I should show you the most important thing. Here's where my colored pencils live. Actually, this is too deep, so behind the front row are a bunch more cases. I have my 520 shelves. This is my open storage of all my professional pencils. Here's my Evazar. I need to put this away. I keep all of my paperwork for all of my crafting supplies. And then if you look over where the plants are, the plant stand also houses a bunch of cases. Those are ones I do not access very often. And then over here, this case, this particular rolling cart becomes yet another desk. So I have like desks forever. I will never run out of crafting space. So this has all sorts of supplies. I have all my prangs, pencil case. These are all of the student cases full of the Prang 50s. I've got some envelopes. I'm not quite done. This will be all filled when I finish all 15 sets. And then I've got some extra supplies here that I need to do some swatching. Here are small sets. These are the Lightfast 72s and a Faber-Castell Polychromos 24. And then my back door leading out to the trail, which is funny because I never use this way. I typically ride my bike on the trail. Our full exterior trail that is a mix of, this is a sandy trail, it's about 2 miles long. Then you have to take the road for a little ways, and then you shoot off to the right to get back out to the conservation fence. And that's a gravel road, and it does cross the golf course. Then you head back, and there's a long 2-mile gravel type road for the dogs, because animals aren't allowed, pets aren't allowed on this trail, because this is the nature trail. The other side is an equally as long with a big dog run park fenced in on the other side called Doggy World. And when you go the full exterior loop, it's about little over 7 miles. So we do that once or twice a day, or I do it once or twice a day. Hub does it up to 4 times a day. And as I said, he volunteers and works on this sandy trail, keeping it clean and maintained, and potholes gone, and palm fronds removed. And that just is his thing he does almost every day. So that is all I've got. I think I have finished everything for you. Oh no, I promised one last thing. Okay, so this is just for fun. I have had this Brutfuner case. I have never opened it. I've had it for over a year. I think I got it last summer between May and July because we were here renting. And this is my second set. So my first set are the ones that I have painstakingly put the Prismacolor matches that I got from Colorful Country Life. If you have not seen her comparison color charts, she now has a dozen different pencils, a nice variety of expensive professional pencils down to some economical ones, including Colors and Brutfuners. And so those I've labeled, the ones that I was using to do the turtles, I've labeled, but I want to stop using those for everyday coloring and switch to this set so that the ones that have labels on them with the Prismacolor color matches, I can save for doing the variety of Prismacolor color alongs that people so often have. I want to be doing them with these Prismacolor match pencils. So let me pause, and I will, because I need both hands free to open this, and I am curious. I just had somebody put a comment on one of my videos that there are some color changes on the newer versions of these pencils that have the English translation. So I'm curious if mine have the English translation or not. All right, I'm back. And you may or may not have seen my contraption that I use for filming. When I was in the trailer, I couldn't have my camera be connected to my table because when I color or stamp or anything, make any movements on the table, it would transfer right to my camera. So in the trailer, I had this telescoping with the light ring stand upside down, screwed to the ceiling. So then when we landed here, I ended up just flipping this right side up the way it should be, and then I have a snaky telephone holder, and it works great. I can move it anywhere I need in my space for filming, and it goes really tall and it goes really short. So it is just like they're two very inexpensive Amazon parts that you can buy. In fact, I will go ahead and put these two items, if you're at all interested in filming and you don't want to spend a ton of money just to get started on doing videos, I will go ahead and put these items on my Amazon store shop with episode 31. And without further ado, let's try to get this unpackaged and see what we've got. I am not sure if it's taped closed or not. So, metal tin, exactly the same as my other tin was. No tape holding it closed. Exact same swatch sheet. The foam. Oh, there you go. I do not have the English translation, and the comment included a couple of color changes. And I have already noticed with the Brutfuner macarons, between the two sets that I own, I already did a video where my second set did have a bunch of changes, and I noted what those were. So it looks to me, let me go grab one of my older pencils. I grabbed a couple. These are a glossy finish, because the other thing I've noticed is that people have talked about a matte finish. These are glossy, and so the two sets that I have are identical. Shiny, no matte, and Chinese. They just look exactly the same. Here's my color chart. A lot of these colors double up for more than one color, as you can see. So that's all I've got for you. I've already got some content for episode 32, which will be coming up shortly. I have to make up for some lost time between last week and my vacation week, so I want to be getting caught up with this content. I know what I owe you. I owe you the Evazar, as I showed you at the beginning. They are over at my recliner, which is where I sit when my back is not feeling well, and in the evening when I need to rest after a busy day, I go over there, sit, and do some swatching. So leave any of your comments, questions, or concerns on this video. Again, I will have the equipment parts that I have my cell phones attached to when I do videos, and I will say that the Evazar is on sale. I noticed that. I have a list. It's a watch list, and I keep track of prices of everything that I own, and they are now over 50% off. So I'm going to throw those on there as well, because they are like really cheap. I think it's like $39.20. It's even cheaper. I thought I got a good deal, but I think I paid around $40. So $39.20 is a great deal. Anyhow, that's all I've got. Thank you everybody for subbing. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do want to see any specific content, feel free to leave a comment. I am flexible. I am retired, so I have plenty of time, although it seems like I'm always busy. Hub thinks I'm a little crazy because I think I am busier now than when I worked, which is crazy. Anyhow, and as always, thanks for watching.